King Charles' secret confession about Princess Diana, what he finally admitted at 76. King Charles has spent decades avoiding this question, but now at 76, he's finally admitted the truth about his greatest love. After all this time, could this shocking revelation change the way we view his reign and his relationship with Princess Diana, Camilla, and his sons? Did King Charles finally reveal a lifelong regret that will shape his legacy forever? Stick around as we break down the hidden meaning behind King Charles' emotional confession and why it could change everything we thought we knew about him. Number 1. What did King Charles actually confess? In a recent rare moment of openness, King Charles made a confession that many never thought he'd admit publicly. For years, he kept his feelings about Princess Diana and their tumultuous marriage tightly under wraps. But at 76, King Charles finally spoke up, acknowledging the deep emotional turmoil he faced during his marriage to Princess Diana. The confession wasn't just a casual remark. It was a heartfelt admission that gave insight into the personal struggles he had to balance duty with love. What's striking is that this wasn't a slip of the tongue. It seemed very much like a carefully considered statement. The question surrounding Princess Diana's role in his life has lingered for decades, and now King Charles has acknowledged what many suspected all along, that his relationship with her was complicated, and his feelings were torn between what he was supposed to do and what he wanted in his heart. This confession is not just about Princess Diana, but also a reflection of how he viewed his entire journey as a husband, monarch, and man. It was a rare glimpse into the private emotional world of a royal figure who's always kept his personal struggles behind palace walls. Number 2. King Charles' love for Princess Diana versus Camilla, the lifelong debate. The love story between King Charles, Princess Diana, and Camilla Parker Bowles has been at the center of public interest for years. King Charles' feelings have always been the subject of intense speculation, particularly when it comes to comparing his love for Princess Diana with his devotion to Camilla. At the heart of it all lies a deeply personal and painful dilemma for King Charles, one that involved his heart, his sense of duty, and the complex web of royal expectations. For decades, King Charles seemed caught between two worlds. On one hand, there was Princess Diana, who embodied youthful beauty, innocence, and the image of the perfect royal wife. On the other hand, there was Camilla, a woman King Charles had known for years, and whom he always felt a strong emotional connection to. His marriage to Princess Diana was never a fairy tale. It was a union that was largely influenced by the pressures of the royal family, a desire to produce heirs, and the expectations placed upon him as the future king. But despite the struggles in his marriage with Princess Diana, his relationship with Camilla endured, albeit in secret for many years. This long-running love triangle has shaped not only King Charles' personal life, but also the public's perception of him. Number 3. Does King Charles regret marrying Princess Diana? One of the most frequently asked questions about King Charles' personal life is whether he regrets marrying Princess Diana. The short answer? It's complicated. King Charles' confession doesn't entirely clear up the mystery, but it does shed some light on the turmoil he felt in the early years of their marriage. Despite the outward appearance of a fairy tale royal wedding, reports from those close to the couple, and even letters from King Charles himself, suggest that he was never entirely comfortable with the decision to marry Princess Diana. Many sources, including royal biographers, have suggested that King Charles felt immense pressure from his family to marry Princess Diana. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were eager for him to settle down, and Princess Diana, who was young, beautiful, and seemingly perfect, appeared to be the ideal choice. However, it soon became clear that their marriage was not the fairy tale everyone had hoped for. King Charles' emotional attachment to Camilla remained, and Princess Diana's struggles with her own mental health and the public scrutiny of her marriage made their relationship even more difficult. King Charles' recent admission hints at the possibility that he may have always had second thoughts, but duty and family expectations led him to stay the course. Number 4. How this confession affects Queen Camilla. Camilla's long been in the shadow of Princess Diana's legacy. For many years, she was seen as the other woman, the person who had a long-standing affair with King Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana. Now that King Charles is king and Camilla is the queen consort, her role in the royal family's changed drastically. But how does King Charles' recent confession about Princess Diana affect her? It's clear that Camilla has endured public criticism for her relationship with King Charles, especially from those who remain loyal to Princess Diana's memory. In fact, some have wondered if King Charles' lingering talk about Princess Diana, especially in the context of his recent admission, could stir old wounds for Camilla. It's a delicate situation. On one hand, Camilla's publicly supported King Charles through thick and thin, and their marriage has evolved over the years from a secret love affair to a fully recognized partnership. But on the other hand, the resurfacing of Princess Diana's memory might be unsettling, especially given the public's ongoing fascination with the late princess. Despite this, Camilla's shown remarkable resilience, and her ability to handle the challenges that come with her role as queen consort is a testament to her strength. Number 5. Princess Diana's own words. Would she be surprised by the confession? Princess Diana's words have become iconic, particularly when she famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." These words, spoken during her famous interview with Martin Bashir in 1995, captured the complex reality of her marriage to King Charles. At the time, Princess Diana seemed to acknowledge what many already suspected, that her marriage was not based on mutual love and understanding, but rather on external pressures and personal disappointments. Now, looking back at King Charles' recent confession, one might wonder, would Princess Diana have been surprised by what King Charles admitted? Given the tension that existed between them throughout their marriage, it seems unlikely that Princess Diana would have been shocked by his remarks. In fact, many of Princess Diana's closest friends and confidants have suggested that she always knew King Charles' heart was divided between her and Camilla. Princess Diana herself struggled with the knowledge that her husband's affections lay elsewhere, and this caused immense pain for her throughout their marriage. King Charles' admission, while revealing, may not have come as a complete surprise to those who knew the real story behind the royal facade. Number 6. Public reaction, sympathy, or controversy. When King Charles' confession about his past with Princess Diana was made public, it quickly became a topic of intense discussion. The response has been far from one-sided. Princess Diana's supporters, who have long viewed her as the true heart of the royal family, may interpret King Charles' confession as a long-awaited acknowledgement of the pain he caused her. For them, it may provide a sense of closure, allowing them to see King Charles in a more human light. His admission could be seen as an attempt to finally recognize the depth of the struggles he and Princess Diana faced, perhaps offering some measure of redemption for the man who'd been largely blamed for their troubled marriage. However, not everyone sees it this way. Some royal watchers view King Charles' admission with skepticism, wondering whether it's a heartfelt moment of reflection or merely a calculated move to improve his image. Those who still hold a grudge against him for how he treated Princess Diana during their marriage might feel that this confession is too little too late. It might stir up old wounds, especially for those who have never fully forgiven King Charles for his relationship with Camilla. And while some may feel sympathy for the king, others see this admission as a way of revisiting old controversies, rather than moving forward with a more positive legacy. Ultimately, the reaction to King Charles' confession will likely vary widely, depending on people's emotional ties to Princess Diana and their views on King Charles' monarchy. Number 7. How this affects King Charles' reputation. King Charles' reputation has always been a mixed bag. On one hand, he's long been admired for his dedication to environmental causes and his work with the Prince's Trust. But on the other hand, his personal life, particularly his marriage to Princess Diana and his relationship with Camilla, has often overshadowed his public duties. Now, with his confession about his feelings toward Princess Diana, the question arises, will this change how the public perceives him as a monarch? For some, the confession could make him seem more human, relatable, and vulnerable. Royalty's often been perceived as distant and almost otherworldly, but by acknowledging his personal struggles, King Charles might seem more like the average person who's faced heartache and regret. It's an emotional admission that could win him sympathy, particularly from those who've always felt that the royal family's been out of touch with the public's realities. However, there's also the possibility that King Charles' reputation could suffer. His monarchy's already faced scrutiny, particularly as his reign began with less enthusiasm than that of his mother, Queen Elizabeth. His confession might stir controversy, with critics questioning whether he has the authority to rule effectively while still publicly revisiting such a painful chapter of his past. Number 8. How Prince William and Prince Harry feel about their father's words. What do Prince William and Prince Harry think about their father's emotional confession? It's a complicated matter, given their own relationships with their father and the long history of tension within the royal family. Prince William, now the Prince of Wales, is in a difficult position. As the future king, his duty is to support his father. But at the same time, Prince William's always been protective of his mother's memory. He grew up watching the fallout from his parents' divorce and witnessing the intense public scrutiny that Princess Diana faced. Prince William may have already known about King Charles' regrets, but hearing his father admit them publicly could bring up complex feelings. Does this confession make it easier for Prince William to reconcile with his father, or does it add more pressure to an already strained relationship? For Prince Harry, the situation's even more complicated. He's been openly critical of the royal family, particularly his father's role in the breakdown of his parents' marriage. Prince Harry's public commentary about the monarchy and his personal journey has led him to distance himself from many of the family's traditions and expectations. King Charles' admission may prompt Prince Harry to express even more frustration with the royal institution, or even deepen the rift between father and son. After all, Prince Harry's always been vocal about how much the royal family's treatment of his mother affected him. The confession could bring back painful memories for both sons, but it might also offer a chance for them to better understand their father's internal struggles. Number 9. Does King Charles secretly feel guilty about Princess Diana's fate? For many, the lingering question's always been, does King Charles feel any guilt about how his marriage to Princess Diana ended and the tragic way her life unfolded? Over the years, King Charles has offered various statements hinting at some level of remorse. However, this recent confession provides the clearest window into his feelings. Though he hasn't explicitly stated that he feels responsible for Princess Diana's death, it's evident that he struggled with the way things turned out between them. King Charles has always been a man of duty, and his duty to the crown and his family often took precedence over his personal happiness. His emotional struggles were compounded by the intense public pressure and the media's portrayal of his marriage. There have been moments in interviews where King Charles seemed to express a sense of regret over the breakdown of his marriage to Princess Diana. But it wasn't until his recent confession that he directly acknowledged how much that relationship impacted him. While it's unclear whether he feels personally responsible for Princess Diana's tragic death, it's apparent that he carries the weight of their troubled marriage and the public fallout. His remarks could be seen as a subtle admission that, regardless of his personal emotions, he deeply regrets how things played out. Number 10. The role of the royal family in King Charles' past decisions. Looking back on King Charles' relationship with Princess Diana and Camilla, it's impossible to ignore the role that the royal family played in shaping his decisions. The monarchy, with its centuries-old traditions and expectations, has always been a powerful force in the lives of its members. For King Charles, the pressure to marry Princess Diana wasn't just personal. It was heavily influenced by the expectations of his parents and the monarchy as a whole. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were keen for King Charles to marry and produce heirs, and Princess Diana was the obvious choice. She fit the royal mold, young, beautiful, and from a respectable family, making her an ideal partner in the eyes of the royal family. But King Charles' heart's always been with Camilla, and the royal family's insistence on his marriage to Princess Diana added to the tension in his personal life. Throughout their relationship, it's clear that King Charles' emotions were torn between duty and desire. He likely felt trapped between what he wanted and what was expected of him, leading to the strains in his marriage with Princess Diana. His confession now may be a way of acknowledging how much those royal pressures shaped his decisions, and perhaps a subtle recognition that he didn't have the same personal freedom that other people might have enjoyed when it came to love. Number 11. Camilla's long wait. Was it worth it? Camilla's journey to becoming queen consort was not an easy one. For decades, she remained in the shadows, not only due to the public's perception of her as the other woman, but also because of the royal family's reluctance to publicly acknowledge her relationship with King Charles. While their love story is often viewed as a romance of persistence and loyalty, it's also been clouded by scandal, heartbreak, and the long wait for public acceptance. After years of being criticized, Camilla eventually became King Charles' wife in 2005. But even then, the royal family faced widespread public backlash, as many believed that Princess Diana, despite her passing, would always be the true princess. Now that King Charles has ascended to the throne and Camilla's assumed the role of queen consort, the question arises, was the wait worth it? The confession King Charles made about his feelings for Princess Diana and the complexities of their relationship could bring Camilla a sense of closure. After all, it was Princess Diana's memory that overshadowed her own relationship with King Charles for so long. But at the same time, it's clear that the public still holds a complex view of her position in the royal family. While Camilla may now be fully accepted by King Charles, her journey to that acceptance has been long and fraught with challenges. Her role as queen consort represents both a triumph of endurance and the final chapter in a love story that many never expected to see fully realized. Number 12. Princess Diana's legacy in the modern royal family. Princess Diana's legacy continues to loom large within the royal family, even years after her tragic death. While her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, have carried on her memory in their own unique ways, Princess Diana's influence is also evident in the way the monarchy functions today. Her approach to charity work, her ability to connect with the public, and her advocacy for mental health have all left a lasting imprint on the royal family. For Prince William and Princess Catherine, Princess Diana's legacy is something they embrace openly. They've made mental health and charity work central to their royal duties, continuing the charitable causes Princess Diana championed. This is particularly evident in their work with young people, the mental health of children, the fighting stigma surrounding mental health issues, areas that were important to Princess Diana. King Charles, on the other hand, has been somewhat more reserved in his approach to Princess Diana's memory. While his recent confession about his troubled marriage may reveal more about his personal feelings towards her, it also underscores how much the past still shapes the royal family. Princess Diana's presence is still felt deeply, and her legacy, whether embraced or avoided by King Charles, remains a defining part of modern royal life. Number 13. The British public's changing view on King Charles and Camilla. Over the years, public perception of King Charles and Camilla has been tumultuous, but it's gradually shifted. When they first married, there was widespread resistance, as many saw Camilla as a divisive figure due to her role in the breakdown of King Charles and Princess Diana's marriage. The idea of Camilla as queen consort was a difficult pill for some to swallow, and her public acceptance was far from immediate. However, attitudes have changed in recent years. Camilla's earned respect for the way she's handled her royal duties and how she supported King Charles throughout their marriage. As the public has grown more familiar with her, they've begun to see her as a capable, compassionate figure who's found her place in the royal family. Polls indicate that a growing majority of the British public now accepts her as queen consort, though there are still pockets of resistance among those who remain loyal to Princess Diana's memory. King Charles' confession about his past with Princess Diana may also have an impact on this perception. For some, his admission of regret may humanize him and soften the public's view of both him and Camilla. However, there will likely always be a portion of the population that sees Camilla as an obstacle to Princess Diana's legacy. As time goes on, the royal family's changing dynamics and public attitudes toward King Charles and Camilla will continue to evolve. But it's clear that their relationship is becoming more accepted by the public, even if it remains a complicated chapter in royal history. Number 14. What this means for King Charles' future as king. King Charles' confession about his feelings for Princess Diana may have significant implications for his future as monarch. As king, King Charles is expected to be a symbol of stability and continuity, and his personal life's long been scrutinized. His admission of regret could either endear him to the public or undermine his reign. While it humanizes him and shows that he's capable of reflection, it also brings back painful memories for those who followed the royal family's history closely. One of the challenges King Charles faces is navigating the complicated history of his marriage to Princess Diana and the legacy that it left behind. While some may see his confession as a sign of growth and self-awareness, others may view it as a distraction from the serious duties of the monarchy. His relationship with Princess Diana will always be part of his narrative, but he must now prove that he's capable of leading the country effectively, regardless of the personal baggage he carries. For King Charles, the key will be balancing his emotional admissions with his public responsibilities. His future as king will depend on how he navigates these challenges, ensuring that his personal regret does not overshadow his ability to govern. Number 15. Will King Charles ever speak more openly about Princess Diana? With his recent confession, many are left wondering, will King Charles continue to open up about Princess Diana in future interviews? Has this brief moment of vulnerability marked the beginning of a more honest approach to his past? Or was it simply a one-off reflection? Given the decades of silence surrounding his feelings towards Princess Diana, it's uncertain whether he will continue to discuss her so openly in the future. There's also the question of whether Buckingham Palace will allow King Charles to speak more freely about such personal matters. The monarchy, especially under the current reign, tends to keep a tight grip on what's shared with the public. Any future remarks about Princess Diana could provoke further controversy or spark renewed interest in the family's complicated past. For now, it seems likely that King Charles will keep his reflections on Princess Diana to a minimum. But as time passes and the royal family adjusts to its new dynamic under King Charles' rule, there could be more opportunities for him to discuss his relationship with Princess Diana and how it shaped his reign. Whether he chooses to do so will likely depend on how he perceives the public's response to his most recent admission and the potential impact on his legacy. As we've seen, King Charles' confession about Princess Diana has certainly stirred up a lot of emotions and raised many questions about his past. It's clear that his feelings for Princess Diana, Camilla, and his entire journey have shaped not only his personal life, but also his reign as king. What do you think about his recent admission? Do you believe King Charles truly regrets his actions? Or was it just a reflection on a complicated past? And what do you think this confession means for the future of the monarchy? Let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on future uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!